Yeah.
I heard you, Trent, saying this Mirana thing, maybe I think a year and a half ago when I paddled with you, and I don't
Yeah.
understand how this hero. It's just
She's still,
perpetually
dude.
busted.
She's perpetually had like 56+% win rate in pro matches.
Okay,
She's had
well,
some of the
that's
highest win rates across all regions for like 2 years now.
you're nothing but
She's
consistent.
just good.
Well, fair enough.
You know, Moonlight Shadow's busted. Who likes playing against that spell? Do you guys like playing against that spell? I don't like playing against that spell. Right? You just get something that sets up for arrow. It's easy game.
Certainly not. Certainly not. Against anything, but not the Moonlight Shadow. Oh
my god.
How do you deal again?
Detection. What is that?
Sentries?
Yeah, but yeah, she's
Okay.
good. Leap's good.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, she does have one problem. Okay, this is the one thing that holds back Mirana. Okay, she does have the worst shard in the game. It's a little unfortunate because supports
Oh,
really
the
like
leap.
their shards right now, but I'm pretty confident saying it's got to be bottom 5.
Wait, what is it even? It used to be the crit. What is it right now? I forgot.
You get okay.
That's
The
the leap.
good part of it is he get one more leap charge, so that's
Yeah.
why maybe
Yeah, oh,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah.
absolute worst. But it also shoots out a projectile that is absolutely worthless.
Oh,
Techies!
Pari Parni, hello.
Yeah, you get them into that relegation game. You push the cat in the corner. The cat comes up with techies.
Yeah,
Let's
I like
go.
that. So I haven't seen this hero since the rework very much in competitive. I know Eastern Europeans loved it. Zayats was a big fan, but now the hero does something completely different. Can you explain that to me, Lizard? What the purpose of the hero is right now?
The purpose is to pick it in the most important match of your season.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, okay. There's a ton of damage coming from techies. Like, jokes aside, this hero can. It's like this combo that just blows things up completely. Jump in, then you set up like those 3 mines that you have. You can pretty much win engagements if you have a capable stun, right? Like
Yeah.
that you can follow up on. Also, what is it? The shard that gives you the stun, right?
Yes, it's crazy.
very
His
good.
timing at 15 minutes is absolutely nutty. It's I don't even know how much damage it is now. I think it's like 12 or 1300 damage or something around
What,
that point that you just
A
output.
full combo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like also your ulti, don't forget, reduces their magic resistance, which is something that I think a lot of people forget if they're not spamming techies right now. So when you combo that with more magic stuff, it can get a little absurd. Like Thompson was doing that E-Blade build out of the mid techies, which was pretty hilarious, where he did like, I think at level 15, he did like 2500 magic burst out of his stun.
I like that statement as if Thompson has only done the E-Blade build with a single hero. Every
Yeah,
hero's
yeah.
like, what if E-Blade worked on him? This seems interesting. They go for
He's
the
like
second-
Mythbusters, but E-Blade Busters. You know,
Yeah.
he just picks different heroes and buys E-Blade.
And the
I
E-Blade
do-
has been changed completely, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Underlord final pick here to protect against perhaps some of the illusion carries as well.
Yeah. It's also pretty
Last-
cool, right? Like you like to have this offlaner that will get jumped on, but can sustain himself a ton, right? Like you have the Underlord, they go on him, he pops that Pit of Malice, then comes in techies, and you win a fight, right? So it's nice.
True.
What do they pick? Do they go for Monkey, Ursa? Monkey is banned, Ursa is not banned. These kind of heroes, right? Maybe a Life Stealer, I don't know. Something that's
Yeah.
nice.
Jug.
I like Lifestealer or Jug because they have really poor initiation. So like what? How do you get jumped by Pari Parni right now? So like I feel like I'm gonna have a chance to react with whatever carry I have. You know, you can like pick Void again if you want to. Like,
But by the way, this is SK mid, right? That's what we're seeing.
Yes.
yeah, probably.
It's
Oh.
considered a coddle counter by some players, and every time I see it, it loses to coddle. But they try it, they keep at it.
Can you explain me the thought process behind it being a Kotl counter?
The idea is very similar to the Zeus, where you like just try to push the lane as fast as possible. You can just farm the small camp, right? And then you can jump the coddle, like you said. So like around level 6 or so, you're starting to annoy the coddle's farm, and before that, you can sustain the lane. They usually go for like double bracer. I've even seen cloak, like cloak bracer, and that way you can survive the illuminate somewhat.
Yeah, because you're not dodging them. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's
you're
not-
pushing the lane, he's pushing the lane, but at the same time, you're eating a blast to the face.
Yeah, that's why it tends to lose. I agree with you. But
Sounds sus, man. But yeah, what do you guys think? The carry.
Trent, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I really feel like they can kind of do anything. Like, what What am I scared of this game? Like you said, there's the classic lane combo or lane counters. They might just go for that.
There's the chug.
They do. They just jug.
Default.
Yeah,
You
just
think it's
default.
chugging to
Yeah.
lose?
I mean, it is a true combo. Ooh.
Yeah,
I don't
try to
know.
improve.
Okay, I was down if it was mid techies, but it is 4 techies. I was,
I think that's good.
I thought the cat was in the corner. Okay, I thought someone was coming out here. I think OneMove looks really solid. I'm a Mirana believer, so I'll give them the W.
Okay. Marana trumps Jug, huh? Lizard, what are your opinion this game?
I have to go with OneMove, not necessarily because of the drafts, just the way they played, the way the teams matched up. I thought the series would be way closer. I'm not sure what happened with the execution of Pari Parni, so I'm going with OneMove. I do like the Pari Parni's draft, though. I like the techies Underlord. I think it's pretty solid.
Well, we'll see if you're correct, Lizard, because I would love to see the techies win, as always. Discord, chaos, that's exactly what we live for. But will OneMove be able to take game number 2 and force this series to a close? Are they actually the better team? Or will Pari Parni scratch out with their bombs and show them what they're made of? We're going to have to find out as Ares and Danog will take us through this wonderful encounter.
Yep, thank you very much, Alvo. Here we go, Danog. As soon as you saw the techies, you wrote to me in all caps, let's go. You're excited about this one. We had the opportunity to cast the techies as well over in Division 2 for Eastern Europe. We got a little bit of insight as well into the techies with the interview we had. Do you want to recap a little bit about what the lad said to us?
Basically, it's something that converts on some early lockdown that you're able to provide, right? The blast off is just such a great follow-up for any kind of engagement. Mostly it was with the puck, with the Dream Coil, right? Because no one's going to have BKBs, no one's going to have that mass movement ability to be able to get away. This game, they don't have that quite as much. Basically, the only thing that you can make a play around is the Underlord, and I think it was Lizard that mentioned it. How are they actually going to start a lot of these team fights on Pari Parni? I think this is just putting a whole lot of emphasis into crushing the lanes and hoping for the best beyond that, because I really like OneMove's draft. That jug was coming from a mile away. They've just got so much good setup for it. I feel like the magic damage is going to be effective, where you don't really care about the Atrophy Aura too much. It's a natural Manta builder, so you're going to be able to deal with the silence from the techies. You're going to be able to get out of the Pit of Malice with your spin. It just seems like a really good draft. And more importantly, I said they were just going so heavily onto Depressed Kid having a fantastic game. They have plenty of ways to be able to catch him out. You've got Vision, you've got the Roar, you've got the Blink Stun eventually coming through from the Sand King, you've got Hoodwink with the Bushwhack, you've got Arrow. Like, how are you actually going to stop this Coddle from dying? So I'm going to go with OneMove as well, following what the panel was thinking.
Yeah. We'll replicate that too. Just have concerns on how Pari Parni really going to be able to take these fights. I think it's always like to bring up just teams and how easy it is kind of for them to execute and multiple ways they have to execute fights and start fights, I should say. And well, Sand King Beastmaster, Hoodwink for the pickoff. You've got great ways to set up for the arrow. So, and yeah, Pari Parni, they just don't have these kind of avenues, and it's going to be very difficult. Like you said, for them, just crushing the lanes and maybe Depressed Kid this early boot to travel, just running a rampant onto the map. So we'll see. We also get to see as well how the Sand King's going to shape up versus the Coddle. Like Arbo was kind of saying, some people feel like the Sand King is a decent way to be able to answer the Keeper of the Light mid, just because you're able to shove out the lane. We'll see if this truly will be the case here, though, for Melodul. It is something that he is comfortable on, though. We have seen OneMove play it multiple times.
And that's where they've been most successful as well. Out of the games that they've won so far, the Sand King, when it was picked, has won 2 out of 3, I believe. So it's a really good start for them. And again, it feels like they are going to be able to execute better with these drafts that just aren't super free, right? You don't want the Hoodwink to be able to miss a bunch of sharpshooters. You don't want to miss a bunch of arrows, because that's a big part of being able to convert with this pickoff. You and I were both thinking that they were lacking a little bit of team fight with the first 3 picks, but they've got that now. They've got the Sand King that's going to be able to be that big AoE damage potential. The thing I'm worried about, and I know Arvo mentioned that a lot of people feel like the mid lane's going to be fine, but I honestly feel like once you're level 3, you're just going to get blasted in the face pretty consistently by this Keeper of the Light. So it does kind of go both ways. You need to make sure you're getting that solid experience lead ahead of the Coddle, so that you're not just forced to sit in the mid lane and tank up a lot of these Illuminates.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it's also going to come down to just who wins this sentry battle. Currently, I don't see any sentries on Meladrill and Depressed Kid. I don't see anyone bringing out any sentries as well to help out. So it's going to be a little important just to at least scout out where he's positioned. The blast should cover a majority of the sandstorm range. So we'll see how that's able to come into play. But it's... I like what they've done at least already for Pari Parni. They did block up the small camp. Both of us really like to put the emphasis on small camps, considering they haven't changed this in quite some time. We haven't got a map change, so it's still going to be the case. Mid laners, a lot of them like to sit with the lane, go back, farm up that small camp, stack it up a little bit for yourself as well. Just get those early level 6. Of course, I think the level 6 in this matchup with the Sand King Coddle is not really going to be as impactful, but I do like that Pari Parni has at least tried to slow down the Sand King.
Well, so have OneMove, right? They've placed a sentry of
Sure.
their own. We'll have a look at it back when we're back on the map, away from our beautiful faces. Honest reaction. Out of 10, how's the haircut?
So how's bottom lane looking? It's going to be interesting to see with the techies. It's
looking all right. It's looking all right. As they reconnect back into the game.
They think your haircut is that shit they got off our faces.
Oh, how could you do that to me? Production. No respect.
Oh my lord.
Just on the topic of the Sentry Ward battle, I do want to go over something really quickly. Obviously, as a Sand King, it's really important that you're getting those early timings right. You need to make sure that you're converting with a super early Blink Dagger timing. So I'm not sure when they were actually making that move. Pari Parni obviously went for the 5-man smoke. I think someone saw the fact that they were coming out of their triangle. So Sayush actually put down a Sentry Ward right in the middle of the Ancient camp, just to check if they had blocked it up previous to that. He had to immediately deward it, of course, because that would have stopped stuff from spawning, but just the presence of mind to have the timings in mind already from the very beginning before creeps have even spawned is just really good play.
So let's look at bottom. We got a techies here. Why not? Heaven on the techies paired up with Pasha on the Underlord. You mentioned that it's kind of nice being able to play the techies with someone who does have some form of AoE control. Do you feel like Pasha? I mean, you're against a Jug, so is there even any world where you can sit up going the pit because you have a techies, or not in this lane?
I'm not sure, honestly, what this techies is for. When I see a techies, I want to see something like a Puck or a Mars or a... hell, even an Enigma. You know, someone that's able to get some very early group lockdown. And Mars to me, Underlord to me, is not that for this game. Because I feel like it's so rare that OneMove are going to want to just be standing around in this big clump on the front lines. It's basically only Jug that wants to be doing that, right? And he's got spin. He's going to get Manta eventually. So I'm honestly not the biggest fan of Heaven going for this.
Honestly, I'm excited to get to see techies anyway. We really...
Sure.
Like Alvo was saying, it's really just Zayats that was an incredible techies player for quite some time. And even there was another person in Eastern Europe, I can't remember who now. There's one more that was really playing the techies at quite a high level, but we didn't see really any other region pulling it out and looking like dominant on it. They just had this crazy understanding, whereas everyone weren't able to catch up. So I'm still trying to find that. You know, maybe this hero needs a slight buff. Maybe the numbers aren't enough for him at the moment. We see it very rarely, but when I honestly do see the techies, it looks pretty solid in those specific games.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it is a game where it is still a little bit of a specialty thing, but again, you've got to get the stuff that's needed to make the most out of his abilities. I mean, Blast Off is so good. Really nice on the top side by Sayush, by the way. Make sure to get the arrow onto the Sadia Mindstealer. We saw how restrictive it made the bottom lane for Pari Parni in that previous game. Oh, he's actually going to get gone on here, though. Could it be First Blood?
It's that Fairy Fire off at the nick of time. So he's just been able to make it away. Boom Kushi and Immersion. This is a formidable lane that they have, though, from Pari Parni up top.
Bot lane, they're going to look to put a little bit of pressure onto Pasha, but again, at this super early stage, they don't have the kill potential. Oh, they're going to look to make a little bit of an aggressive movement here, just with that blast off, but again, just some good laning coming out from both teams.
Smiling Knight actually went for a 2-0-1 build. Hang on, he should go down here. He does. Oh, that's going to bite him in the back. Pantomime, he had a cell, but again, you don't really want to give your teammates over a self, and So maybe kicking himself that he did go for this 201 build, considering he's got a stick as well, so he's able to really help out. Top lane, Afterlife and Mukushi battling it up at the moment. Not going to have enough mana for the axes. Mukushi's got to be cautious to Sage's Mask regen. Might tick him over to where he does have enough if the Chaos Knight continues chasing. Just chuck it on the tree line. Just guess. Guess right. I believe. Do it.
Version's just needing to put himself out there. Has to be careful not to just stand on top of Munkushi, just to make sure that he's not just going to give his life away. They might go for this kill, though.
Ooh, how long's the stun gonna be? Oh no! He's got the Helm of the Iron Wind as well, and it's just this one
The
tree.
trees.
And now Sayush is going in. So he got to play with an arrow, point blank, lands on immersion, has a fairy fire, but Sayush, level 4 already on the Mirana. Look at this, what a start. Unfortunately, he just got the urn delivered. Would have loved to have that already brought out.
I was seeing if Munkushi might have been going for a kill, just coming back to the lane while he is in that 1v1 situation against the Beastmaster. But have a look at this, already level 5. Munkushi only just hitting up onto the level 4 for himself. The full creep wave doesn't actually get pulled through, so he's going to give the CK a little bit of this easy farm, but still, top lane going very well for OneMove overall. It means a lot of the attention has been given, of course, by the Mirana this time around to make sure that that is the case, and it means he's only been able to get one stack off inside of the triangle, so that's going to be a little bit of a negative point, might slow down the SK's Blink Dagger timing a little bit, but, I mean, Melojul's still doing just fine.
Top lane Afterlife, he's going to be in trouble. Nice cut through the tree from Munkushi. And there's already Boots of Travel. Why not? Not that they really needed the extra assistance coming through from the Press Kid. But a 3-6-minute Boots of Travel for the Keeper of the Light. He's farming incredibly well. But so is Melojul as well on the Sand King. What's he got? A little bit of a stack of the Ancients. Nothing crazy. I like this from Immersion though. He's just moving into the triangle, trying to see if are any stacks going on.
It's all just going to be around that Blink Dagger timing, though, for Melojul, right? Like, they have plenty of ways to be able to lock down onto the Keeper of the Light. It's going to be about making sure that you're negating his ability to scale early on. I mean, how many times we've seen Keeper of the Lights just with a crazy amount of net worth super early on? SK's job is to make sure that doesn't happen.
Looks like the Press Kid does have the urn queued up at the moment. You feeling like he's going to continue the build and go down the Spirit Vessel route?
I guess it's important. Again, like, it just gets amped up by the Solar Bind as well, so it's just one of those abilities that allows you to stay out on the map. It means that you don't always have to use the Chakra Magic for yourself, because you've got a little bit more of that passive regen coming through. So, yeah, it's I don't hate it this game, but again, you're going up against a Jug who's going to go Manta, who's going to have Spin. So it's not going to be as effective against the enemy core.
I mean, Smiling Knight, though, isn't having the greatest lane. We saw that one death prior. He's a little bit behind in regards to the last hits. So I guess this is the issue, though, against the Underlord. You have a ridiculous amount of base damage, and it's also going to help out with the Atrophy Aura as well. And we saw they weren't able to kind of pick up those early kills to really hurt the Underlord through the kind of the weakest stage of the game for him. So it's going to be a bit difficult for Smiling Knight. We'll see how he's going to look to play this. A lot of Jugs, when you start to fall behind, you could consider a Soul Ring, just because a lot of your farm is going to come off the back of the Blade Fury. Can also help out as well, just giving you like a free healing ward as well to be able to stay in the lane.
And they are noticeably sacrificing the Jugs game a little bit, right? Like, he isn't the one that's in...
Oh, he might
hang
die.
on,
What's going on here? Just gets the bonus armor for the phase boost, but heaven, what? The kamikaze play, but look at him go, just walking out. Easy like that.
I mean, if he's able to play the techies at this standard, being able to get effectively solo kills against the enemy carry, then by all means, feel free to pick it up every chance you get. But what I was saying before was they're making sure to give a lot more of this solo experience over to their position 5 in Pantomime. We saw how effective he was in the previous game with the Enchantress, but this rotation back is just going to be immediately scouted out. Won't catch anyone with the Bushwhack, but it's going to be important, right? To me, this game is all about converting on that Blink Dagger timing. It's all about converting on the fact that you've got this Primal Roar available. So they wanted to make sure that they gave Pantomime a lot of that solo experience in the mid lane, while the Sand King was rotating back towards the jungle. SK's got his Blink Dagger, so he's able to make a move now with the Epicenter. But the issue is, Panto doesn't quite have that level 6, so I don't know if they're going to have the damage to take out this Underlord. He's real tanky.
Yeah, I don't... Alright, we'll see. Melodra's gonna look to jump. They'll have the extra chain control afterwards to get the epicenter up, but look at the rotations coming out from Pari Parni. They won't be fast enough to be able to keep Pasha alive. They at least will trade the kill onto Pantomim, but of course this is a support for an offlaner.
Really just wanting to give Juggernaut any kind of space,
back
even if
in.
it's just one creep
Melodra
wave.
with the arrow follow-up. They had the ward, but it was a little bit too late to react from Sayush's TP. So they're even going to get Heaven as well, and that's a bit of a streak also to claim.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the downside is that I don't believe, Smiling Knight didn't get that last hit on the techies. And I was saying before, the reason for that rotation is that they just wanted to give literally any kind of free farm to Smiling Knight. And he missed almost an entire creep wave in the time that he was just looking to converge in for that kill. Sure, he gets the assist, but he needs to come back into this game now.
See Pantomim. Multiple smokes are going to be broken. A little bit too close to the fire there in the tower. Afterlife is going to get cut off up top. And look at this, just surrounding the Beastmaster. Forced to drop the roar and run to the left. Pasha does have a level up in the pit, however, but it's getting a bit of help from the Centaur Conqueror. Great micro coming out from Afterlife, but he should still tick out to the urn nonetheless. One more tick and the blast for good measure. There's the press kid. Beautifully done, along with the rest of Pari Parni.
He would have loved on OneMove if they were able to make a rotation onto the Keeper of the Light with the amount of time they were spending up top there, but of course only just hitting the level 6 on the Hoodwink. You still need that damage to convert into a lot of these engagements. They're going to be able to take out the Enchantress, you would assume here, as he tries to rotate through with a nice arrow being landed. And again, it's just an easy draft to play on OneMove. Stun, into stun, into stun, into damage. At least until they pick up those Lincoln Spheres and BKBs, it's going to be quite easy for them to be able to convert a lot of these early movements, which is why it's so important that they make them happen to full effect early on while they can.
The issue is on how they're able to bring down towers, though. Dire have incredible deep push with the blast, with the firestorm, and it's not going to be easy to kill the Underlord at this stage. Melodra's going to jump. Once again, the techies is going to be in trouble. Melodra, okay, doesn't use the epicenter for the kill, and it's actually going to cost him as Melodra's in trouble. Drag back into the blast, but OneMove, they've got multiple heroes nearby to be able to get this. Looking to enter the fight. Even Smiling Knight's feeling the importance of this skirmish. Rotating the top is going to be the Juggernaut. Can they close the distance, though? Bushwhack's up in a couple of seconds. They might move for immersion instead. They have a Hawk next to the tower, so they will be able to scout out. They land the combos, and the Enchantress should go down afterwards. The Press Kid is still playing on the outskirts. Trying to pump in that damage from afar, but OneMove, they do Delta split away. Now, what's the play on OneMove? You brought a lot of resources top. Can you commit for this
Sayush
tower?
can't move. He can't move. He doesn't have any leap charges left, and no one wants to walk up to try and cut him out with a Quellic Blade. So he's just going to drop down an Observer Ward and TP away. Looks like they want to just get another kill. They've got the Blink Dagger, of course, and CK was the main target, but very good presence of mind makes the rotation towards mid, making sure that that's not going to happen.
Okay,
It's the same sort of thing with the Wyvern last game, right? Wyvern was the target you needed to go on. This game, it's Depress Kid. He's able to output just so much damage. If he uses the Spirit Form as well, you've got the healing aspect to contend with as well, because again, all of your damage is burst-oriented. So I feel like next move that OneMove makes needs to make sure that it's catching this Coddle. You got to try and be in his mind.
What are your thoughts on Melodra going for this BKB? Would you have preferred something like a Boots of Travel? Because it does feel like he right now is his main playmaker for OneMove, and they're really just looking to pick up the pace, you know, jump in with the Hoodwink, jump in with the Marana. So would you prefer like a Boots of Travel here?
I don't hate the BKB, to be honest. I think it's going to be fine. I think it might even be stemming back from the laning stage where I saw multiple times he was just pushed out of his Sandstorm by the Keeper of the Light. So I'm a realist, right? Not every situation is going to end up in you going onto the Coddle, right? It's just not going to result in that. So in the situations where you're not able to get that objective, then to have him just be able to push you out feels really bad. So I think regardless of whichever target you go on, you just want to make sure you're converting into that and forcing, at the worst, a buyback out of the enemy team if they want to have an even fight.
And I do think the nice thing about Pari Parni in their lineup at the moment is, again, just a deep push. You see for OneMove, they want these pickoffs, but you need objectives to be able to open up the map and be able to have more avenues to dive deep into Pari Parni's jungle. But Underlord has just parked himself top. Depressed Kid can always defend mid. They're pretty mobile, at least with the Keeper of the Light and the Fiend's Gate as well, and TP on Pasha whenever he has these available. So I don't know what the plays for OneMove, honestly. Like, you need to win a pretty big team fight where you at least get 3 heroes, I think, to take this tower.
And Pasha's just going to get stronger and stronger, but this kill might be the result of that ward placed
I don't
down
know,
previously.
man.
Oh, they miss!
Oh, they're going to try and move in with the Omni Slash regardless. Sharpshooter's going to help out a lot as well, but yeah, not happening. Not happening at all. Pasha just eats a bunch of damage. You got 2 points in their Nature's Attendance. They're going to go back to defend this tower, I believe. I really don't want them to give it up, especially with Omni Slash on cooldown. And
I don't think they
Sharpshooter,
can.
I'm quite surprised.
Depressed Kid doesn't have a TP. I think if he did, gladly, but you need him there.
He TP'd out. Like, screw this. All right, well, there we go. Tower's going to be claimed. Meanwhile, Munkush is getting a lot of farm. The Chaos Knight has been free farming across the map. We've had a bunch of skirmishes going on, but the Chaos Knight has not been involved. He's has this armlet Echo Saber into the blink next.
I mean, it just shows the result. Like, this is a game where OneMove, yes, they have the easy to execute.
Depressed
Found
Kid.
him. That's the target you
now
want.
you're half-arsing it. Now you're trying to defend the tower from afar, but they've got the Hawk nearby. Down to the south, they're going to run into Immersion as well. The TP will be successful. Very awkward from Pari Parni. They felt like they could leave the objective, but then they were kind of sticking around in their jungle. They were unsure of what play to make. They finally go back in, but that's when Depressed Kid gets caught out.
And look at what that means as well. You're like, oh, what's that? No coddle for 20 seconds? Let's try and at least make a little bit of a movement around mid. They're feeling confident in it. Melojul, just
Yeah, he's in.
they're going
With the
aggressive.
dust as well. Mukushis is going to try and move this over to Pantomim's life instead. Can they bring their attention back to Melojul? You bet they can. Mukushi. A lot of damage getting put into the Chaos Knight, and is able to transition into a tier 1 tower as well. So nicely done from Pari Parni.
I'll be honest, I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking that OneMove were in a position to maybe make a kill attempt there onto the CK prior to the use of the Phantasm, but man, just jumping in, no fear, coming through there from heaven, getting the connection through, and yeah, we just see the damage that Munkushi has been able to pick up for himself with that Echo Saber, plus the armlet, plus the Possess Mask.
He is very far ahead of this Juggernaut, even though Smiling Knight, well, we did see the Jug have a pretty tricky lane, but Smiling Knight, yep, Smiling Knight has this Maelstrom, so at least he has this farming Excellent at the moment, but yeah, it's gonna take a couple of deaths on Munkushi for the Jug to be able to catch up. Looks like they will run into Immersion. A jump from Melojul, probably gonna scout out the ward on the cliff.
And that's honestly a decent pickup, right? You know, Enchantress still one of those supports that are pretty good at being able to push. You didn't use anything significant other than the Sharpshooter to be able to get that kill. You've got the Epicenter available, you've got the Spirit Vessel, just find one of these key targets. Depressed Kid is the one. Does Sand King have a TP? No, he doesn't. So that's actually going to stop them from being able to make this conversion happen.
Starting to part their way down bottom is OneMove.
Good Moonlight.
Cover the Moonlight Shadow. Tower's already going to be killed off, though. We'll see Munkushi. Pari Parni, they do have multiple members nearby to be able to take the fight. They're going to start this onto the Enchantress instead. They feel like it's an easier target just to blow up Immersion and maybe look to get out, feeling like this is not a skirmish they want to continue to take. They did smoke under the ward. Pari Parni are aware of this maneuver.
They've got a DD in the mid lane, though. And Knight's going to be able to scout it out. So maybe he wants to look to connect through to this, but his role right now just needs to be recovering some of that net worth for himself. Even Afterlife with the Helm of the Overlord, I kind of feel like he needs to make a movement back towards mid. The Ancient Granite Golem is, of course, going to help the team in terms of their sustainability against this coddle.
Oh, they're
I
in.
guess he even has the Spirit Vessel.
They're onto the Underlord with the Sharpshooter as well as the Epicenter. They actually bring down Pasha. Oh, man. And Pasha knew exactly where they were. They pinged out the lane. There's no way Smiling Knight's ever in a position to be able to farm that creep wave as aggressively as he was. And they saw the creeps get body blocked, so they knew where they were with that smoke. Back to the lane, though. Pantomime, he is going to go down, but they're moving this into
should know.
Roche.
They should know this is happening, though. Top lane's being pushed in. Bottom lane's in a super safe spot. Instantly, they go for the smoke. Is it going to be quick enough?
There we go. Age is going to be picked up. Smiling Knight should be okay as well. It can always just blade through, run away, and that's kind of the issue with Pari Parni at the moment. I guess Munkushi does have a blink, though, so at least you have one way to kind of jump in and start, but really nicely done from OneMove. They just see a vital opportunity for them to take a big objective, and they don't hesitate.
This is one of those situations where, in a lower level game, that wouldn't happen. But OneMove, after that
farming
pickoff,
under a ward. Okay, forced out of the bushwhack. He's chilling.
after that pickoff, they instantly...
Hang on, Pasha's 2 is under this ward. Are they going to have the damage this time without the epicenter? It's a lot of stun control coming out thanks to Sayusha's arrow. And again, Pasha's going to be killed off. That's 2 deaths in a row. And this Underlord's net worth is really taking a hit.
Yeah, he's meant to be that super tanky beast on the front lines. Knight's even going to get that last hit onto the mid tier 1 tower. So suddenly, the map opens up a whole lot more. You're able to convert some of these kills into, you know, further objectives. They feel a lot safer walking inside Pari Parni's jungle, cutting off a lot of the farm that Depressed Kid is looking to try and pick up for himself. So, yeah, just with a couple of kills onto an Underlord, this game just gets kicked wide open for OneMove.
Going to be forced to defend top as well here from Pari Parni.
They've
Already
got Epi as
Afterlife
well.
is set up. Look at the vision they've got with the Hawks.
Nice use of the blast off there by Techies. If he
It
can get away
helps!
as well.
Oh, they got him. All right, Melajul.
good
He's stuck in the
attempt.
tree line. It was a beautiful attempt, though. Try and get rid of the Hawk. Maybe it can set yourselves up for a defense, but I'll put you back in the grave, and it will also come at the cost of the T2 tower.
It just shows the strength of the Beastmaster, though, right? They cannot make that play if they don't have a hero named Beastmaster on their team, just because of the insane amount of vision that it provides. So, pushing power, BKB piercing disable, vision. That's why Beastmaster really is at the top of the priority list for so many teams right now.
This is big for Immersion, at least. To be able to take away the ward that OneMove was playing with in the triangle.
Prize is mine.
It's not going to give them an opportunity now to be able to invade that area and try and take a skirmish. They are going to move up to top, though, Smiling Knight and Afterlife. Set up the trap. A little welcoming party on the stairwell, but Immersion's going to do the... is the better thing. Don't send your hero, just send a measly old creep instead to tank this engagement.
They're on the move again.
Smoke
The
Danog,
Skank
look
squad.
at this. Drag back. Great reactions are from Smiling Knight. Protective for the moment. Melajul! Oh, he's in with a combo and it is perfect. And Pantomime is also going to find another target. Your extra catch, lack for the moment. The gap close will not be there to run into the techies, but Melajul, man, that was filthy. No hesitation from the Sand King.
Yeah. They're just looking to make sure that they've got presence of mind to know where this Keeper of the Light is. That's all that's on Melajul's mind right now. Where is Coddle? How is he going to be able to stop this tier 2 push? He can't. So they're just going to get another objective for free. Wonder if they even decide to go back to the bottom tower, because again, they don't have the glyph for the next 3 minutes or so. And I mean, Epicenter's going to be up in 1. So if they take one more team fight, they could very easily converge on this and be able to take multiple tier 3 towers. Look at how confident Knight is as well. Just putting himself up here on the front lines, realizing that they have the outpost, he's got the Aegis, so his team's always going to be able to connect through to him to help.
And the vision game again for OneMove. That observer ward at the bottom tier 1 tower. Able to scout out Pari Parni. I don't know how many heroes they saw, but it's everyone on P Parni down bottom. So they've got a lot of information on OneMove. You brought up Pantomime in game 1 and how vital he was from being able to control the map. They've got the Beastmaster again to provide that information with the Hawks, and feels like Pari Parni just can't catch a break. OneMove always have this vital information to be able to be one step ahead of them.
What I really like about Pantomime as a player is that he he's one of those players that values his life. You know, like he doesn't just throw his life away because he's a support. This game, he's gone for the Blink Dagger, realizing that the way he's going to die is by instantly getting 100 to 0'd by the Chaos Knight, getting blown up by the Keeper of the Light. So he just wants to play slightly behind his Sand King, who now has the Blink Dagger, and he's the one that's going to be starting a lot of these engagements. So it just means that he can look to blink in and use that Sharpshooter whenever he wants. It's going to be up to him to dictate the space of these fights without giving up his own life. So I really like that about him, and I really like this itemization.
Having a big item though. Depressed Kid just completed the Lincolns. Still second most farmed tier in the game. Pari Parni, even though they're down 4,000 gold, they've got the double damage rune on Mukushi, and the Aegis has just expired. But how do you start the fights? Smiling Knight, it's not an easy kill. They're going to be relying on Heaven's Jump with the Aghanim Shard stun. So they do get rid of Pantomime. Can they change into the Maw as Melachor's in? Again, a double Burrow Strike. They're going to use the Raw to control the Chaos Knight for the moment, but the Omni Slashes, it's ripping Mukushi apart. Immersion's going to try and buy him some time with the Nature's Attendant's heal, but that does nothing. As OneMove, it doesn't matter if you lose out on the Hoodwink's life, as Melachor can always turn a fight back around. Starts it off with the double Burrow. He's going to end it with another stun onto Heaven. And Pari Parni, it's another lost skirmish for them, and their high ground soon to be under siege.
They can just go for another blind blink in here. Yeah, they want to catch the Press Kid. That's exactly what they want.
Oh, he's gone. There's nothing they can do. Beautifully done from OneMove. They just cashed out the Press Kid a little bit too close. You'd expect a tier 4 tower to be enough of a deterrent, but OneMove say that is not the case.
No, again, their pickoff is just insane. They've got 10 seconds left on the glyph, so they should only lose one lane of racks, although OneMove, they're going to try and get the second. But yeah, they're able to convert onto that as well because they've got the Aghanim Shard on the Juggernaut for the extra movement speed, and now, like, they've got the Manta as well. So, Spirit Vessel, who cares? You've got the Pit of Malice, who cares? Like, Smiling Knight just feels like he's in a position of complete comfort.
Melachor is in. You don't have a PK on the Chaos Knight.
Oh, no.
What is going on? They just tried to commit to get rid of the helm of the Overlord creep, and they called it.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, Pari Parni, they're in shambles. This is not looking good at all. But for the lads on OneMove, this series victory, that will secure their place in Division 1 for next year's DPC. So a really, really important series for them.
Big breath, sigh of relief, for sure, coming through for the OneMove boys. And they deserved it. Like, both games, they just played exactly how they needed to. A couple of times in that game number 2, you know, they went on the Enchantress, probably not the highest priority of target, but everything after that, they just identified the linchpin, the key hero that they needed to be gone from this game in order for them to have a chance, and they converted. It was either Depressed Kid or Pasha, and they immediately moved to get an objective after that. So really, really solid performance coming through from OneMove. Well-deserved victory, and if I was them, I'd be celebrating.
I would be as well. What are they looking for next? They still have one series against Na'Vi.
So, it's rough.
That's tricky.
They seem
It's rough.
They're the definition of a middle-of-the-road team. They have beaten all the teams that they should, and they've lost to all the teams that are better than them. Like, I think a 5th place finish is pretty much confirmed for them, I would say, with those top 4 so interchangeable. But for Pari Parni, that was their last series. They haven't been eliminated just yet, but now their fate lies in the hands of Mind Games and Rune Eaters. And, well, I was talking about those top teams previously. Outsiders are playing Mind Games, as well as Team Spirit, 2 series that are not very easy. And then you've also got Na'Vi playing against Rune Eaters as well. So, honestly, we could see a 3-way tiebreaker at 1 and 6 series score for which one out of those 3 teams is going to stay safe in Division 1.
Anything can happen down at the bottom of the table, and anything can happen at the top of the table as well. There is still a potential for OneMove somehow to be able to qualify to the major. They also need some fate to go their way, but with this series victory, hopefully they can bring this momentum into their series versus Na'Vi. That's going to be a tricky opponent, but we are done for our first series of the night. It's going to be OneMove taking this in 2-0 fashion. We're going to send to a break, and when we come back, we've got the panel and an interview with one of the lads from OneMove.
Guys want to do that one more time? One more time?
Yeah.
This was actually the whole 3 minutes we were waiting. This is all they were saying. There's no actual commentary. Anyway, OneMove versus Pari Parni. The series ends. And Lizard, I think what you said in the last panel kind of rang true a little bit. It does feel like OneMove looked the superior team, draft or not. They just look better, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. They looked like the superior team. Also, Pari Parni discombobulated a little bit, right? Like they have a decent laning stage. Techies is killing people on his own.
that's good.
He's doing all right, but eventually it just all falls apart, and they can't really like reel in their strategy, connect all the pieces. Like I feel that what they needed to change in both of these games is have a more active mid laner that can actually control the pace of the game. Um, Kotl is active, just very punishable. Perhaps a mid laner that's not as punishable, right? Like these spirits, earlier picked spirits would have worked. Perhaps.
Trent, would you say that this game was decided by a single Moonlight Shadow? Was just
Oh,
Just a
I
Moonlight
mean,
Shadow.
what can I say? You know, good hero, ladies and gentlemen. That's
Dude,
what Miranda does. I mean, it was one of the best Miranda games because there was just so much setup, right? How many times did you just hear the commentators say like, "And the arrow hits"? So you're just like, they're so dead. Like once the arrow connects, you know, it's this like complete like death nail. Like no one else wants to be around it. They all just kind of panic and leave. They're left by themselves. They get massacred by your following squad. It's great.
did this game get carried away by Moonlight Shadow, Trent?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah. What do you,
It
what
was
do you
only
mean?
Moonlight Shadow.
Yeah, nothing else matters. Broken hero.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, good. As long as we're all on the
I'm
same
glad
page here.
I'm glad that we all agree. I'll see if we can get a different point of view about Moonlight Shadow. That's the only questions we're allowed to ask, because we do have an interview set up here with the position 5 here from OneMove. Pantoim will be joining us. And as I said that, he magically appears. Hello, Pantoim. How's it going?
Hi everyone. This was fast and easy. That's why everything good.
Okay. You wanna explain the easy? Do you feel like that was a draft thing, or you just feel like you were a superior team?
I didn't feel any pressure.
Mm.
When they first pick Enchantress second game, they show us that they are scary. They just want to predict Beastmaster, but we actually don't care. And we just pick it.
Yeah, that's what my panel was saying. Lizard specifically, who I know has some juicy questions for you as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought the Enchantress isn't truly a counter to Beastmaster, right?
I think it depends on experience. When you're having a lot of matchups against this hero and you know what you exactly want to do, you can just in some games you can just stay on lane like for 50 minutes on Enchantress and no one can push you back from your lane. But they're having an Underworld and Keeper of the Light and Enchantress, a lot of heroes which wants to do one thing, just
The same,
delay
right?
pushing Beastmaster.
Yeah.
We made some macro moves on map, and we actually got this tower, and we take enemy jungle. And it doesn't matter any hero, they can't push us back from jungle.
Yeah. And did you expect like that's how it looked like to us as well, like something's missing for them. Did you expect it to be this easy, like you said, or did you expect a harder series?
Mm, I feel like we have a lot of problems in with teams who has now 4 wins and 1 lose, and we have no problems with other teams like in league. Mm, I didn't expect so easy games, but we didn't feel any pressure. We had good practice games before this day, and we were very confident and show our best plays.
Yeah, and about this confidence, also, I want to ask: is the tank top to show off the gains, or is it hot in your room?
It's hot, but in the end of interview, I can show some muscles.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's what we like to see. A little bit of confidence here. Pantomime, is it nice to play heroes like Hoodwink on the position 5? You know, compared to some of the more traditional 5 heroes.
I think this hero should play it by heart if you like this a lot, you can make a lot of plays. Mm, you can just split lanes. You can survive in a lot of dangerous situations which any other support would die. You can have a lot of burst, which is good in our team. We have a lot of active mid laners, and we need supports who can try to burst any hero.
Yeah.
In this patch, when BKBs had more cooldown, it's not so important, but previously you just have to burst heroes. Now it's a little bit long cooldown.
Thank you. So that's an excellent answer. I noticed that you're quite the Oracle player in the past, but you've only pulled it out. You know, you played it versus Team Spirit. What are your thoughts on the hero right now?
I think it's not bad hero, but it's still weak on lane. Team Liquid picking it with Bristleback, and this is huge combo. I think as well maybe Patch Oracle can work. Patch is so strong here right now, and with a permanent BKB from Oracle, he can be unkillable in some games.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down. That's good. I like that.
Due to ranked games, people forgot how to play about Oracle. You just stay behind, healing people, giving them free BKBs, and they just don't focus you. That's why I gain a lot of MMR with this hero. But in competitive, it's a lot of different.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, as we talk about competitive, you talked about the difficulties of the 4-1 teams, right? Your last match against Navi. How are you guys feeling about it? What is your preparation going to be like to make a difference here?
I think this is important match for both of teams. Navi wants to make sure they're going to major, and we will try to maybe have some breakups. So this 100% that we live in first division, but if there is a little chance of being on tie breaks, we want to try our best.
Yeah. Is the team feel motivated for the last match? Is the atmosphere good for you guys?
I think yes. Sweden Strong said in some interviews like he has a crown on his head, and I want to push it from him.
Nice. Lovely, Phantom. Well, it was very nice to have you. We are very excited to see you push that crowd next week. Let's see if you can manage to do that. And congratulations again on your victory against Pari Parni, man. Good luck
Thanks
in
a
your
lot.
last match.
Thanks for inviting.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Thank you. Goodbye, Phantom. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
what a great ending to the interview, showing off his guns, Phantom, the Chad. Well,
He was like,
yeah.
"Today's interview is mine, guys. I'm wearing the tank top today."
I love it. It was like game recognized as game. Lizard knew exactly what the tank top was for. He knew it was not just because it was hot. When is your tank top coming by, Lizard? That's what I'm questioning.
I don't know if it's under the TOS, you know, for an analyst to do it. As a player, they can get away with it, right? But I'm not sure if I.
The screen just flashed for a second. I thought Drag and Drop was starting to cut that. Anyway, we have another match today, and the other match is very, very interesting. Let's look at the schedule again so we can talk about the rest of the matches for today, because there's not just one more. We have Div 2 as
That didn't
well.
work. I tried to make it appear, you know, you just like snap at it.
Schedule.
Come on, drag and drop.
I guess not, huh?
I snapped the wrong finger. No.
There we go. We did it. So the team that we're talking about, Na'Vi, are actually fighting against Rune Eaters, and this match is particularly important for Na'Vi because they beat Rune Eaters. They will be capable of kind of ignoring the last match against Pari Parni, or not caring as much about that, as they would at least be able to go through tiebreakers. They're currently one of the 4-1 teams, the mythical 4-1 teams. Rune Eaters, however, not the easiest opponent. You guys might not know them because they've changed their name recently, but they are the Kazakh stack that has dominated Div 2, or did really well in Div 2, mind you. They managed to make it now to Div 1, and there's some other new blood coming into the scene. I think probably the most well-known player is TA2000, previously known as Naive, a god tier carry, at least in my opinion. opinion. So they could definitely take games off Navi. We'll see if that is going to happen. That match will be in a little bit, though. We're going to have to take a break before that. And we do also have PuckChamp versus Hellraise. That's going to be our Div 2 match later today. So no matter what we say, please do stay tuned for that match. Lizard, I hear you want to say something?
Oh, is TA 2000 actually naive?
Yeah, same guy.
Was he? Okay, because... Alright, never mind. Because I knew TA 2000 from long time ago, like ages ago from pubs.
Yeah,
But
he
I
went to
didn't...
Naive, and then he
Ah,
went
he
back
went to
to
Naive?
2000. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I liked him more as naive.
Yeah, he had his best time was as Naive. Then he changed
Yeah.
his name, and it's never been as good since. But it is going to be a very interesting match that's coming up next as well. And if we can do another one of those conjurings, guys, Trent, can you do the sound for the standings, perhaps here? Is that-
Standings. I don't know.
okay.
It didn't work.
Rather, as the guys at OneMove were talking about, they do have a chance still to go to the major, but they need some losses from Team Spirit, Navi, Betboom, and Outsiders. Some team has to do really poorly in the next two matchups. And when we look at the relegating ones, Pari Parni is... Yeah, they're in a pickle. They're in a massive pickle. And Rune Eaters and Mind Games still have better chances of at least getting those 2 points, which will save them potentially from the relegation, or at least force tiebreakers between them, which is what Rune Eaters would love. So we'll see
Yeah.
if they're capable of doing that. That's why the next match is so important, because it decides both the top and the bottom
Navi.
of the groups.
Navi are in the absolute best spot. Okay, out of these top four
Okay.
teams you see in the standings right now, Navi are in the best spot because they only have Rune Eaters and OneMove to play, who are two of the lower teams. Whereas when you look at like BetBoom has to play Team Spirit, so that can kind of go either way, right? That's, I mean, obviously we're expecting Team Spirit, but you know they dropped their games to Outsiders. Maybe they're going to drop it again. So like theoretically, Navi should be finishing at 6-1, and that should kind of lock them. Then you've got one team's going to get knocked down between Team Spirit and BetBoom, right? And then Outsiders, they also have to play BetBoom. So there's a lot of mess in these other three teams. Navi are the ones who should be able to coast their way to victory here. That's why this matchup is, you just win this. Just win.
Yeah, but Trent, should is a loaded word, because
Bravo,
if a team...
Navi are back, all right? And I won't hear anything else.
Yes, but Rune Eaters, though, they might be back too. They took a game off Outsiders. If they can
How
do
are
that,
they back? They're last, literally, like second last. How are they back, Avo?
well, look, they came from Div 2, so second to last is better than their previous matchup, right?
Well, it's not great if it sends you back into Division 2, is it?
Lizard, Trent, I'm trying to hype up this next matchup. Help me out. Stop saying it's a wash for Navi.
It's hype. It's hype for Navi because if they do take it, Navi is actually back.
So it's just a pleasure watching for Navi fans. Is that what you're saying? It's just people that want to watch Navi win?
Oh, you never know. It can happen that Rune Eaters step it up. It's always nice in the Eastern European scene to win against Navi, right? Like that's the org you want to beat no matter what. So let's see. Maybe it won't be a wash, Avo. Maybe it will be an amazing, spectacular best of 3 that goes the stretch back and forth. Yeah.
Love you, Lizard. Thank you so much for that. Where are my Kazakh people in the chat? You guys have the best breakfast. You should also have the best supporters here for Rune Eaters. Show them your love. Show them they can beat Navi and prove these haters wrong. But for that, we do have to wait a fair amount of time. So we're gonna take a break here. Remember to follow the channel, follow BTS social media, and if you guys want to ask us any questions, remember there's a tweet right now on the BTS Twitter, which is the Ask DPC tweet that we do every single time. Your questions can show up here and or show up on the panel, and we will answer them to our best of our ability. So if you've ever wanted to ask anything to Lizard, Trent, or myself, or if you want to ask anything in general about Dota, or you have a problem and you don't really know how to Google it, just go to Ask DPC and we'll do our best to help you out. Meanwhile, we'll take a break and we'll come back in 55 minutes with the next match between Navi and Rune Eaters. Take care. See you soon.